Well, we live in a world where everything isn't what it seems. We've been learning the hard way growing up, believing in the things they taught us and the things that they're currently changing that they don't teach anymore. It's just bizarre. But look, man, smash that like button, man, if you've been catching on to the things that's been going on in the world and sharing your opinions in the comments down below. Let's make sure we get this video to like 15,000 likes for the like-minded people out here. Share these videos with your friends and family, man. We lit over here. Positive vibes only. Look, I'm not trying to convince y'all of anything, but I'm just trying to get y'all to look at some stuff that's just weird. But look, man, let's get into this video. And just know, if you're going through a tough time, we're going through this thing called life together. You're never in it by yourself.
You guys know that 1913 was the year we actually lost control of our country, right? Oh, and just for historical context, World War I started in 1914. I mean, look, I'm sure that was a coincidence, but let me just tell you all the things that were created in 1913. First, the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal nor has any reserves. It's basically a private bank that just controls all of our money. Second thing created in 1913 was the IRS. And I'm sure it's just a coincidence that it was created the exact same year that a private bank took over all of our money. Yeah, I'm sure it's a coincidence that that was the year they started taxing you. Like, you work, they print, and then you pay them back with interest. Yeah, that makes sense. The next thing created was the Rockefeller Foundation. Yeah, and let's be real, that was all about philanthropy. It's not like they took control of medicine, education, science, and basically the health of the world. I mean, let's be real, all they were doing was donating money. Yeah, it's not like they were buying control of everything. Oh, and that worked out so well, right? Because people are healthier and more self-sufficient than ever, right? Oh yeah, also in 1913 was the American Cancer Society. I mean, that sounds like a good thing, right? That can't possibly be bad, except it was completely funded by extremely wealthy people. But even though it was a charity, they never really gave to anyone. No, they just took their money and invested in pharmaceutical drugs. Oh, and chemo. Yeah, instead of taking that money and investing in companies that were trying to find a cure, no, we'll just invest in companies that use chemicals from the military that were later banned. Yeah, that's a good thing to keep fucking putting into people. Then also created in 1913, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, which sure, yeah, it's about civil rights. Yeah, totally. It's not about censoring people or, silencing critics. And then in 1914, we had World War I. And that became the first war ever that private industry profited from war. The private industry that's owned by the same families that created the Fed, the IRS, the Rockefeller Foundation, the American Cancer Society, the ADL. Again, just a coincidence. Oh, I'd also like to point out that a year prior to 1913, 1912, yeah, that was when the Titanic sank. And it's funny how three of the wealthiest individuals on that ship were the loudest voices opposed to central banking. Oh, and there's also the little tidbit that JP Morgan was supposed to be on that boat, but he canceled at the last second. But yeah, that's conspiracy, that's tinfoil hat talk. So what's happened since 1913? Well, the dollar has lost 99% of its value. Our debt has just become like a number that we ignore. Middle class getting fucked daily. War is now an industry instead of a conflict. Oh yeah, and your money isn't real anymore. Like, it's just not real. It's not backed by anything. It's just numbers on a paper that private bank prints. So guys, look, if you're worried about America being conquered or, a rebellion or it being taken over, I just want you to recognize that you're more than 100 years too late. That shit already happened in 1913.
Hey, boy, he ate on that one, man. Smash that like button. Let's get into it.
Listen, do you ever wish that you were smarter? That you were intelligent?
No, I wish I was dumber.
Really?
Yeah. The problem with being smart is you see the world in a different way. You see reality, and it's depressing.
Wake the fuck up.
Pay attention, bro. Rule red. Hurry up. Our world has changed. What does this mean, bro? What does it mean?
That mean that you spelled that shit wrong. He spelled the shit out there wrong. He posted it. Hey, that did happen to me a few times too. But I just had to point it out. I'm sorry, y'all.
Africa just hit a switcheroo on America. Went completely offline from Google Internet and created their own shit. You hear me? Pull the switcheroo and now have their own internet that the U.S. government does not have access to, cannot monitor, cannot track, but still has access to do all the same things that we have access to do. Google is big, man. The U.S. is going crazy. Everybody's in a frenzy. And let's not forget to mention, America is like falling economically, and Africa has their own dollar now backed by their gold, no longer subscribing to the US dollar. Yeah, it's time.
House Oversight Committee got Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday book, and there's a lot more in it than Trump's birthday card, like this picture of what appears to be George W. Bush with his face blurred out. This creepy cartoon of Epstein giving balloons and lollipops to little girls in 1983, and then 20 years later, those little girls giving him massages titled, "What a Great Country," with a private jet in the background with the numbers 908JE. A letter from someone named Michael that talks about stories about chronic UTIs, prostate massages, and orgies. Letters from girls that he worked with. She mentions all of the amazing places that she's traveled, London, Paris, Milan, Copenhagen, Tokyo, and on, and that she's met Prince Andrew, President Clinton, the Sultan of Brunei, Donald Trump, Chris Tucker, Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, brilliant scientists, lawyers, and businessmen. Clinton wrote a letter with all of their wonderful memories and adventures, and Elliot Woke wrote that he remembers when Jeffrey discovered Ghislaine as a teenaged girl. Someone named Nick wrote a letter about royal schoolgirls' dorms, Mandarin drivers to find us some girls, massage classes at Raxel. Notes that Epstein is revealed as an alien in disguise. This picture, quote, he is the boyfriend of Redacted, quote, we think he works for the CIA. So now you have to ask yourself, what in this book is real, and what, if anything, in this book is fake? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Boy, what's this? Boy, this birthday card nasty. Say they done found an infamous birthday card, boy. I know Trump pissed. Y'all think he drew the titties and shit on there? I mean, this shit's crazy. Even Trump's name looked like a pussy hair. Trump and Epstein were friends, wasn't it? I don't know. This letter creepy.
Right.
If your homeboy wrote you a letter like this, he wouldn't be your homeboy no more. He might be your lover. Look at this letter, y'all. Y'all know Trump knew that man was nasty. And he was nasty too, for Epstein. That motherfucker say, we got something in common, Jeffrey. Enigmas never age. Shit, Epstein gone. With Trump, if you an enigma, you age like a motherfucker. He told that motherfucker he hoped every day is another wonderful secret. What the fuck is a wonderful secret, dog? Again, butt stuff. We all can admit Donald Trump weird and nasty. Before all this presidency and everything, that man done did everything under the sunshine. And from this letter, he look like he did it from where the sun don't shine.
And then they talk about the distraction, right? And I don't know if this stuff is true or not, but it's crazy, right? But let me know if how y'all feel about it in the comments down below. But then all of a sudden, this stuff started to hit the internet, and then they have a press conference showing this. Let's roll it.
We are hearing from whistleblowers also on Capitol Hill who allege the government is holding back crucial information about UAPs, unexplained aerial phenomena, what many of us still call UFOs. Senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram shows us that tonight.
Shocking witness testimony.
It stopped about 100 feet in front of me and approximately 100 feet above me. My telephone got extremely hot, completely froze.
From whistleblowers who served in the military.
Chaos ensued over the radio as the object approached rapidly. I heard my friends screaming, "It's coming right at us. It's coming right for us."
People demand answers.
There is something out there, and we should know as the people what it is.
The hearing was enough to convince some lawmakers who were once skeptics.
Growing up, I really never believed in UFOs or any of this stuff. I admit, I've become a believer.
GOP Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson showed an alarming video leaked to him anonymously. Burleson contends it shows a U.S. drone firing a Hellfire missile at a UAP off the coast of Yemen last fall.
It pivots in some way, and then there's what appears to be debris from the missile. The missile is deflected, and then some pieces of debris appear to be traveling alongside and with this object for an extended period of time.
One witness says the federal agency tasked with investigating UAPs rules out encounters with extraterrestrials on a technicality.
The only way to scientifically prove extraterrestrial is we have to go to that planet, acquire technology, bring it back, and compare it to what we have here.
Lawmakers believe the whistleblowers are credible because of their positions.
It's politically convenient for the government if you all weren't military folks in suits. It would be much better if you pulled up in Winnebagos and were wearing hats.
One congresswoman wants special protections for UAP whistleblowers.
Most of our whistleblowers that come forward, the first thing that goes is their security clearance. Security clearance is their livelihood.
Lawmakers say the U.S. is now in a space race. It's competing against China and Russia to figure out UAPs first. Brett?
Think it's a distraction.
I want to queue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe. This was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone. And so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does.
A lot bigger for us to see. Boom. Right in half. Why y'all think they showing us this all of a sudden?
This is when it zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling. So, Mr. Knapp, do you have you heard about events like this occurring? And what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Slap, but can also stroke.
Did someone capture this video of Paul Walker in between this supposed deadly car crash and going into hiding?
Well, it wasn't even me. It was some other dude. They thought it was me.
No, this is, now you're playing with me.
Oh, I swear to God.
You swear? Okay.
They thought it was me and it wasn't even me.
Now, what's interesting to me is not too long after that car crash, a certain person came onto the scene and all of a sudden started directing movies. A certain person by the name of Tim Ballard. Maybe you've heard of him. He directed The Sound of Freedom. And he resembles someone an awful lot. So much so that you barely realize there are two different faces there. And while you can change some things easily, like a beard and even the color of the eyes, and even haircuts and nose and ear size can be manipulated, sometimes there's just too many things to catch them all. Especially those pesky little birthmarks. To there, and to there, and to there.
Oh no, y'all.
Oh, you son of a bitch. What have you done? Now, people, you know, any information I have, I share with you, and I hope you do the same with me. And with that being said, can somebody tell me who the hell these people are? Who is this man? Who is this woman? Can somebody tell me who is this? Who is this? This guy's brought his whole family. Who are these people? So for the people that don't know, in the early 1900s, these people was going to the beach fully clothed. I'm talking suited and booted, bruv. Like they've never seen the beach before in their life. Look at this guy here. I mean, look at him. People say they dress different in those times. But brother, have you ever been to the beach? Do you know how much sand would get in your shoes and in your coat and your fur? And come on, brother, being a female, wearing a dress, sitting down on the wet sand, that's not very ladylike. So basically, what we're trying to say is that these people have been sent in after the reset. Because there's no way that these people are coming to the beach dressed like this.
Ain't no damn way.
At the peak of the Cold War, the CIA uncovered a source who claimed to have found an ancient Babylonian artifact capable of generating temporal portals with the ability to see through time. After recovering the crystalline artifact from the Baghdad Museum raid, Project Looking Glass shifted to Phase 2, construction of a temporal aperture device. The Nevada desert was chosen as the home for the device. Under the guise of nuclear weapons testing, we were able to construct the aperture in complete secrecy. 200,000 tons of structural steel were used, along with 212,000 cubic yards of concrete. The crystalline artifact was stabilized with argon gas. Operators were specially trained psych operatives who were given a combination of psychedelic and emotion suppressive drugs. This was a necessary component in order to activate and operate the device and focus on specific time periods, past or future. December 12, 1979, first test activation. 3 operators exposed to unfiltered timeline data disappeared upon activation. All clinical staff experienced temporal displacement, with some reporting crossing their own timelines. The project was immediately suspended. The device showed us things, probabilities, warnings. In 2012, it revealed something that forced total shutdown. This footage is all that remains.
Happened was people, very smart people, began to figure out that
something big was coming up. Something that made it so all the possibilities of all the future scenarios of any choice, any possibility that was fed in and observed through the looking glass inherently ended up in the same future.
So did y'all hear the story about the woman that went to sleep for 12 hours and lived a whole nother life for 7 years and then started coming to one day after many glitches started happening in her new life and came to a door where she heard her old voice, started remembering her old kids, everything, opened the door, and now she's back in her life. She's only been missing for 12 hours. But she has lived a 7-year life that she can remember. If y'all have not heard that story, go look at her story. Because I couldn't explain it to you all without sounding crazy. But that is exactly why I made that video telling y'all there's nothing here. I couldn't explain to y'all what exactly I was going through, but I was telling y'all there's nothing here. Mind you, a year or two before that, I made a video telling y'all, guys, I went somewhere and it's amazing. I think I went to heaven. I was telling y'all that. And then after I got off of that high horse of where I had been, y'all will remember me making videos like, nothing matters anymore. Nothing here makes sense. Value is not the same. Like, things like that. I'm telling y'all. And I commented on the video when she was making the story, and I was like, why doesn't this ever happen to me? And God told me right there, because look what you do when I take you somewhere. Y'all, it's really hard once you understand that you can exist in more than one place. I'll just say that. Once you have cleared the knowledge that you actually exist in more than one place, and you can't explain how you've even made it to that level of understanding, this life is hard after that. Like, this life is hard after that.
Why do we all just laugh off the Mandela effect? That is not funny. That is scary. Because what you mean, a bunch of us in different parts of the world who have no connection to each other, no relationship with each other, we all have very specific memories of certain things happening a certain way, and they just say, no, it didn't. I ain't ever in my life mistaken Shaquille O'Neal for Sinbad. I know what movie I saw. The Fruit of the Loom logo had a cornucopia in it. Them fruit was not just hanging on that logo loose like that. They was not just laying out loose. I was always at the top of the accelerated reader list in elementary school. I know them bears, their last name was Berenstein. It was Berenstein. It was not Berenstein or whatever else. Chick-fil-A randomly added that K to the end of the chick. Y'all, I'm not about to play with y'all. The Monopoly man had a monocle. Because that's the first time I ever saw a monocle. And then Darth Vader never said, Luke, I am your father. And then Snow White never said, mirror, mirror on the wall. Y'all are lying. Why are y'all lying?
Yo, what's a Mandela effect that y'all can recall? It's so many of them, man, and they can be proven that like certain things with certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments down below. Is it a rip in our fabric of our imagination, or are we on different pages where we're projecting? Because they say together we're connected, right? So our intentions, are we changing things ourselves, or is it the Matrix being manipulated by somebody or something that's not supposed to be here that they let through a fucking portal or something like that? Let's get back to it though.
Y'all, this is not a joke. I died on Tuesday. I'm 38 years old and I had a stroke. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do nothing. I woke up Tuesday outside of my body, watching me, like standing over myself, like, oh, we not in there. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I didn't want to step back in. I didn't want to go back in. And I'm gonna tell this full story later. I need to get to the gist of something real quick. This week that just passed is so monumental. You don't understand. So monumental. I ain't really had no fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, being dead was cool to me. I knew I was on my way to the next land. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, I decided to step back into my body because, like I said, I got a younger sibling. I got 2 younger siblings. But I'm pleased with my life. I could have left. You feel me? Anyway, it took me 3 hours to go 2 feet after I got back into my body because it felt like a ton of bricks hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't hold my head up. I couldn't move my legs. You know, and I was doing a Kill Bill thing. Wiggle your big toe. Like, I was really out of it. You feel me? I made it to my phone, and I was able to call my elder siblings, you know, the older set of siblings, you know what I'm saying? My brother was like, hell no, we calling 911 right fucking now. Like, what the fuck, G? Like, you going? They know I don't play with the government. You know what I'm saying? I make it to the hospital, you know, and all the people just looking at me like I'm crazy, right? And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Come to find out, ain't no blood in my body. No. None. All the nurses come shaking at me like, yo, your hemoglobin is a 2. We ain't never seen no shit like this. What kind of shit is this? How you here? I'm looking at them like, I'm holistic. Anyway, so I'm playing like I ain't got no, I mean, I'm weak, but I'm playing that because it's like, you know, I'm trying to show you that I'm a spiritual being, baby. Like, yeah, millions would have died off this, but whatever. You know, I also started thinking in that, like, who the fuck drained my blood overnight? You know what I'm saying? Where the fuck my blood go? Y'all, all the lights tried to come get me. And I've been talking about the lights. I kept saying, is it my fucking funeral? They were trying to tell me, and this all correlates with what happened in May. There was a May transformation, and I had a full vision. You can go to my page, you know, about it's May 29th. I was talking about it. Anyway, I'm gonna give a long speech about this later, but I needed y'all to know, y'all, hey, I was dead. I was dead on Tuesday, and I rose on Friday, and I had doctors studying me, like people that wasn't even assigned to me. Everybody kept coming to visit me like I was Jesus, baby Jesus. Once again, this ain't my people, because I didn't tell my people nothing. Only people knew was my parents and my siblings. Doctors were coming to visit me that wasn't assigned to me from different, I mean, it was a toe doctor that came to see me because they couldn't believe what the fuck was going on. Nurses from every angle came to come visit me and give me gifts. When I tell you every other 20 to 30 minutes, somebody was knocking on my door saying, are you the 2 girl? Like, is that my name? And some people's calling me the stroke girl too, you know, but it's like, and they looking at me like, how you look like this? Only one time did I bust out, I am a living testimony. I should have been dead and gone. But anyway, I played so much up in there, y'all. And I'm talking about spoiled. My people didn't have to come. I told them, take y'all ass to work. I'm fine. You know, I was there to be an example, a living example. And this is what occurs when you know who you are. And you know who you are in the spiritual realm. You know who you are in this physical realm. You couldn't tell me I was going to be that kind of testimony, that kind of example. But when I tell you doctors scratch their heads over and over again over Deborah for the last 3 days, it's only Sunday. It's only Sunday. I got video to prove it. I got pictures to prove it. Baby, Deborah was gone. She died at home and then decided to step into her body. And then when she got in her body, I looked at life and said, yeah, I'll take the bid. I'll go again. I'll go again. So this is an extended stay. And I'm going to talk to y'all more about it. Namaste. Just be prepared to know that you can't tell me shit. You hear me? Oh, and I met y'all gods. God, your spiritual angels and your spiritual gods, all of them, they came to see me too. They was asking me, are you sure? Are you sure? Do you feel like it? I'm like, yeah, we'll play. Like I was playing Family Feud. We'll play. Yeah, let me back in this, because I already know. But now I'm about to show. It's a different thing when you know, now you can show. Whew, I'm ready for it. I'm going to do what I got to do. Ain't no fear. It wasn't no sickness. It wasn't no... I just went to the hospital to prove the doctors wrong about what they think about the body. That's... Who does that? And then lives to tell the story. Who does that? Nothing induced, completely sober. They just looking like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, Deborah is going on. What the fuck?
Trump works for DARPA. Peter Thiel works for DARPA. J.D. Vance is DARPA, okay? That's who's running this game. And Russians try to warn us. The Russians took a pulse microwave device and pointed it at the U.S. Embassy in Moscow from 1967 all the way to 1973. In that time frame, they had more diagnoses of tinnitus, Meniere syndrome, voices, mental illness, but here's the big one. We had 3 straight ambassadors develop blood cancers, okay? Turns out in 1973, Henry Kissinger, Secretary of State, has to give hazard pay to anybody who was in the embassy at that time. Do you know how they solved the problem? You want to know where the idea of tinfoil hats came from, my friend? They put tinfoil all up in the U.S. Embassy when they found out what the Russians were doing, and what did the Russians tell them? We're trying to warn you that what you're about to do is going to be a big problem. They're not coming after us with guns because they know we'd shoot them. They're coming after us with needles to kill us. And they're using electromagnetic radiation to do this silently so that we have no earthly idea what's really going on. They can use light frequencies to destroy the leptin melanocortin pathways in the brain to control people. They are using an angle of attack that none of you are prepared for. Not one of you. In fact, most of you are walking right into their hands because all of you are addicted to what the technocrats are selling you.
Here on the 50-yard line, it's always in the same places, guys. Places people gather, places they cheer, places they feel the most. And right above them, always watching, always pulsing. This isn't just a signal tower. These setups are designed for maximum emotional taking, we'll say that. When the energy is high, so is the broadcast. Notice the cluster? That's not basic communications tech. Those are layered bands, cellular, frequency scanners, emergency channel reroutes, and likely beam-focused nodes. They say it's for coverage, but ask yourself, who needs that much coverage right over the heart of a crowd, guys? You can feel it. Don't ignore it. Stay awake. Stay aware. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
All right, guys, we're at one of the hidden resonance gates in Phoenix. Looks like just like public art, right? But if you count the stones, there are 12. Each one links to a zodiac sign, forming a full energetic wheel. The metal prongs, they're like tuning forks, drawing signals from each sign and broadcasting them along the rail line. When you stand in the ring, your body aligns with specific frequency streams. Some people feel it in their ears, others feel it in their bones. But once you're inside, you're part of the circuit.
You know what I think that he's missing too with this? Those things that are on the ground going through the portal might represent our telomere caps and what they did to shorten our lifespans. If you look up telomeres, you know, looks just like that.
This isn't just art.
That's because when they pull energy from us, guess what? It shortens what? Lifespan? Telomere caps? I don't know. Am I heating up? Crazy.
It's a decoder, guys. Listen closely. You might feel one of the 12 calling you.
Whether you believe these are real or faked actually does not matter at all. There is a much bigger problem with crop circles. Whoever is designing these has a geometric knowledge that is so deep it requires a multidisciplinary analysis from multiple fields of science to decode these things. Magnetic field, for example. They can also take the top view, rotate it on its side, and then give you that side view. They can show you what a bar magnet's magnetic field looks like, but you got to know that this is a 4-poled bar magnet to actually decode this. They've shown magnetic components like this motor and stator. They've taken very complex 3D geometry and flattened it down into a 2D representation of it. Some of them are even ancient spiritual concepts like the geometry of space-time, the geometry of consciousness, or the flower of life. At Stonehenge, they were able to execute a perfect Julia set fractal. Some show detailed celestial events like the lunar calendar and an 18-year lunar eclipse cycle. Molecular geometry of vitamin A. Easy work. Correct perspective and ternary code for CERN. Easy work. This one's a quantum particle mapped from 8 dimensions down to 2 dimensions. Now, these guys really got me into this. Now, these may look deceptively simple, but you don't just draw this shape. They're describing physics concepts from something called sympathetic vibratory physics. It is very specialized knowledge you really have to dig for. Think like Tesla tech. Back in the alchemy days, they hid this in symbolic art, in cathedrals, in books, and it's even hidden in your head. That goes back to ancient Egypt. Now, there are absolutely fake ones, but I don't think anyone here is dumb enough to compare this to something like that. And there remains no adequate explanation for how the stalks get bent and exploded in the way that they do in the real crop circles. So if you can't even execute this on paper, you don't get to say that they're fake or not. It's very hard to deceive somebody with a lot of perspectives, and I'm here to give you all of them because I love you the most. Say it back.
So what is it about images like this and African style or Egyptian style artifacts that were found in the Grand Canyon that have to be covered up? What is it about these kind of images that they can't accept? What does it tell us about true human history? And listen, stick around because I've got a drone video of this site. When I shared this picture, many people commented. Many people said that this can't be real that this has to be photoshopped, that he had to use artificial intelligence. People suggested, I see right over here where they blended it. But this image is of a real site on the East Coast of the United States of America. And please stick around, because for those people who said it wasn't real, you remember that we are the receipts, that we taught you the giants are real. We're teaching you about the Smithsonian, and stick around for this video, because we're going to fly over with a drone this area right here. We want you to see that it's real. We want you to see how important it is. So here we go. Let's switch. And now you are flying over the area that you just saw in that picture. What is it about images like this? What do they point to in history that they cannot let you into the Grand Canyon? They will not accept that images like this exist. It was obviously outside of their imagination, because they did everything to say that that could not be a real picture. Well, now guess what? Please like this video right now. Please share this video, because now you are sharing the evidence of this picture that's been around for over 5 years, that you are now debunking anything they had to say, because you are flying over it in a drone video that demonstrates it to you that it's real. And listen, what's important about this is that these images, it's just not about being Egyptian, because Sumeria predates Egypt. Here, these images are Sumerian, and we're going to demonstrate to you how the site that you're flying over right now, that they were worshiping Enki. Yes, they were worshiping the serpent god from Sumeria. You wanted to know why they would cover it up? Well, let's dig deeper and deeper into why. Enki was the Lord of Eden. Enki was the god of fresh water. And here we find him right at the bottom of the oldest freshwater system on earth, the Susquehanna River. Here is a site that they worship the serpent. We have thousands of ceremonial fetishes that represent serpents of different types from this site. This is a site where they're worshiping Sumerian gods. In other words, this predates Egypt. This predates Mesopotamia. And that's why they have to cover it up, because another civilization that lived right here, and we're going to show you how this continues into the water. That yes, the civilizations that you're looking for, like Atlantia or Atlantis, depending on the belief system that you follow, well, we're going to teach you how these people are relative to that, because as we're teaching you in this video and in these pictures, we want you to see, we're going to show you some pictures of mounds here. We want you to see that these are irrigation lines, just like in Mesopotamia, like you see here. This picture is from archaeologists from Mesopotamia that demonstrate, based on archaeological record, what life looked like in Mesopotamia. And here you see it right here in America. People, this predates, we have soil data here. We have soil samples that are from 20,000 BCE to 8,000 BCE that prove that that's why they don't want you to know. And that's why they're afraid of these images. That's why they will not let you in the Grand Canyon. So listen, please like this video right now. I need your help. You're not making me famous. What you're doing is speaking for the voice of this ancient civilization site that you flew over. Now, you say you want to visit ancient civilization sites. You say you want to fly over these places. You want to visit these places. Well, in this video, it's demonstrated to you that they're real. We're heading up to Delaware in October. You're welcome to come visit this site with us. Please share. This is Human Origins Revealed. Remember who shared it to you first. We're going to come out with another video that demonstrates that this site has a large, expansive, that you saw in this video, this entire site was fed by a freshwater irrigation system that proves that civilization lived here in North America long before it lived in Mesopotamia. The root of the Great Reset and the big cover-up starts here, and we're going to connect that to the Grand Canyon and all these other things that we're teaching you about. Please come in. Don't just look at my videos. Please remember to like them. Please share them and help enhance and grow the voice of this ancient civilization. Their voice has not been lost. It was just forgotten and covered up. So thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing the future. Human Origins Revealed.
See, that's when I'd be telling y'all, look, man, be wary of the people that are from here that claim to be like archaeologists, scientists, and they want the best for everybody. They're trying to give you the best information that'll lead the people that live here on this landmass to other countries just to look at their pyramids and mounds and ancient artifacts when we have everything here. It's a reason why they want to show you that. They've been compromised. And if you look at a lot of them, they're very wealthy people. And if you see where they got their wealth from, it all leads to particular people, right? That's why this video loops in to different, it's all together. It's all together if you look at it. Stand back and look at the bigger picture of what's going on and why certain people are presented to you. The same reason why I say, man, the reason I do these videos is just to open your eyes, ring that bell. But it's other people that want to do these videos because they seen when they were popping, they went viral and people were really taken to the information. Now, all of a sudden, you got a bunch of mugs that have thumbnails just like mine. And they gonna ashe you and shalom your ass to death. It's a difference between somebody wanting just to open up people's eyes and show them a different perspective than people are just trying to milk this to get the money. We call those agents, y'all. But let's keep going though.
A message from our ancestors, Mai. Join the fight. New truth shirts on our TikTok shop.
Yo, check this out, family. So while the skies were completely covered here in Florida and I could not see the blood moon, something wild was happening across the waters up in the skies of England. Now, before the blood moon even hit, people noticed that there was this fiery orange color in the sky that consumed a greater part of England. And then what followed later was flocks and flocks of seagulls. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. I've never in my life have ever seen seagulls come together as a unit unless it's for some food at the beach. It's like they're all gathering for some kind of ritual, like they know something cosmic or interstellar is about to take place. And again, birds in every culture were the messengers, y'all. They knew when the birds start acting funny or weird that there was something great coming, a great change or a cataclysm. What do the seagulls? And then right over here in Nashville, Tennessee, there were thousands of birds seen flying around, y'all. What is going on here?
What the actual hell? Oh my.
A better view. There are thousands of birds here going nuts in downtown Nashville.
And y'all see how red the sky is? Y'all see that, right?
Electromagnetic frequency. Somebody help me with this one. What's going on, man?
What the heck just happened? Y'all see that? It glitched. And then finally, this is what the moon was doing in England. Why is it? Y'all see that? What's happening here? The camera's not moving. It's the moon that's doing this. So were the birds responding to something? What? Y'all see that? Could the birds be responding to something cosmic happening? And what is this? What is this star over here? What is that? People were confused because they were taking pictures of the moon, but it appeared to be the sun, y'all. That is the moon. That is the blood moon. Why does it look like the sun that's peeping through the window? This is in England. It's in England. This is crazy, y'all. I've been saying that I truly believe that this new moon that people have been seeing is actually a second sun. And you can clearly see there is something going on here, a glitch, to show y'all that is like some type of sun, y'all. But let me know what you guys think about this video.
They have been lying to us, y'all. What if I told you this whole 3-eye atlas and everything that they've been feeding us about it is all a lie? What if I also told you that 3-eye atlas may very well have something to do with third eye activation? I started to dig a little deeper, and this is what I found out. Listen up. So let's connect the dots a little bit more. So the name 3-eye atlas in itself kind of lets you know it's something to it, right? They talk in codes. 3-eye atlas, that also happens to be the third interstellar object to ever be discovered in space. The third, right? Third object, third eye. It gets even deeper. Let's talk about it. So I was very curious to what the word atlas was about. What does it mean? What's the meaning behind it, right? So when I looked it up, I was really surprised to see that it was the C1 vertebrae, a ring-shaped bone vertebrae that actually supports the skull. So it actually sits in a place where it supports the skull. In esoteric traditions, the C1 vertebrae is thought to have been the gateway between body and spirit. So now we know that that C1 vertebrae, which is called the atlas vertebrae, it is a round shaped, vertebrae that supports the skull on it, that keeps the skull in place, right? Also digging deeper in esoteric traditions, I mentioned that They looked at the vertebrae, that atlas, as being a gateway. And what is a gateway? A gateway is a portal. And what are portals do? I'm thinking it's a portal to ascension, a portal to that third eye activation. This is activation time, y'all. They're talking in codes, right? It's not a coincidence that this is called 3-eye atlas, and they spell it with the letter I, right? But it's third eye activation. It's the third eye atlas. It's not a coincidence that when you look up the atlas, that it is a vertebrae, like that looks like a gateway, a portal, right? It's our time to activate. Many of us will be activated during this time, this energy, and they're letting each other know what's about to happen. Also, when the C1 vertebrae, which is the atlas vertebrae, is in complete energetic alignment, it helps to support the free flowing of life force energy that flows up from the spine to the crown to the third eye. This is really a time to stay as grounded as possible. Stay in that love frequency. Y'all, we gotta really stay in that positive love frequency as much as possible, especially right now, because things are about to get real, okay? And there's a lot of people that have been talking about they've had a lot of pressure headaches, tension, nasal congestion, anything within that head, that crown, and that third eye area. It's all part of the purge. We're purging, right? Because like I mentioned, many of us are about to be activated, so get ready, y'all. It's about to go down. It is the third eye atlas. Peace, love, and light.
If you really want to get that Kundalini energy, or what we're going to call, let's just call it the rising charisma, or because they hate the word Kundalini. They say it's attached to demon. Give it another word. Let's call it being baptized by the Holy Spirit, fire, or being baptized by the Holy Spirit. If you really want to rise that, you see, this is the spinal column right here. And these are the 33 vertebrae, how Christ died 33, and he was crucified 33, and then he resurrected out of his sepulcher because the pineal gland opened up. If you want to get that charisma, or what you call cerebral spinal fluid, the charisma, or the Kundalini energy, whatever y'all want to call it, in order to truly awaken that and get that up that spinal cord, for it to actually be crucified, the lower nature can be crucified, or you can sacrifice daily to your lower animalistic beastly nature, or what you call Saturn. You see that? In order to make that happen, you have to abstain from sex. Don't be having no sex contact, and don't be jacking up baiting. The longer and longer you save that sex energy, that chrism, or that Christos, or what we call the Christ, will rise, and it will walk to Calvary or walk to Jerusalem, and it will be crucified at the 33 degree vertebrae, and that way you can awaken that energy and awaken the tree of life. You see that? Which is called the pineal gland, for you can see God face to face. So you have to abstain from sex or masking. And once I got rid of my parasites through my detox, I wasn't masking like that at all. So it showed me that the parasites is what was causing me to watch. So most definitely you're going to need the geogenetic level 1, and then you need to do some breath work. Make sure when you wake up in the morning, you're sitting in your lotus posture. You aligning the spinal column. Make sure you're aligning L5. Make sure you're aligning L4. Make sure you're aligning L1 of the back, and you're getting that right breathing in. When you're sitting like that, make sure you breathe in through your nasal passage like this. And when you're breathing in, expand your diaphragm. Try to expand your lungs as full as possible. It's called a complete breath. So you hold it, and then when you exhale, and you crunch, you get in a feet position when you exhale, and to get all of that carbon dioxide out of your body. That is a complete breath cycle. Try to get your breaths down to 28 breaths, complete breaths per minute, and that'll bring all of that prana and all of that Holy Spirit, that Holy Ghost, or what we call the neshama, the breath, the air, into the body, and it will alkaline the body. And look, these parasites hate breathing. They hate breath work.
But look, y'all, we have another banger, man. Do y'all think that when they were looking through Project Looking Glass, I'm pretty sure they've seen a bunch of different outcomes? But me, for example, I believe that the 3-eye atlas could be a destroyer, could be an asteroid, something like that. But at the same time, I think it could be pointing at the Christ consciousness coming back and people waking up to Kundalini energy. And that's what's going to be able to change the world in a direction that we go into, because we're going to be able to manipulate time, space, and everything when we get our powers back, per se. But look, let me know how y'all feel about this video in the comments down below. Make sure y'all subscribe, share these videos with your friends and your families. These are perfect thinking exercises, man. Like I said, don't believe everything you hear and see on these videos. Believe yourself, do your own damn research, and we're going to continue to grow, thrive together. You know what I'm saying? But look, I see you on the next video. But like I always say, spread love, because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. I see you on the next video. And I'm out though. Bye.